Yeah.
All right, if you can't hear me, you should have gotten here earlier. Or as somebody was just saying, look for it on YouTube later. My name is Andrew Pace. I am a librarian at North Carolina State University Libraries and columnist for American Libraries Magazine, the Technically Speaking column. I'm joined by my colleague Marshall Breeding from Vanderbilt University and columnist for Smart Libraries newsletter, among many other notable publications. I want to welcome you to the live stage and kind of a new thing, a first annual that would make it seem like maybe we need a bigger venue next year. But that's part of, I guess, what we were testing. I want to thank American Libraries Magazine and the Exhibits Roundtable for co-sponsoring this event, the Speaking Technically, where we've asked a handful of vendors to send some of their leading technologists down to the vendor floor, the exhibit hall floor, to talk about technology and their companies. But the question is, in the business of library automation, how do technology decisions balance with business decisions? How do you, as chief technologist for your company, make the case for the best technology strategy in the company's overall business strategy? And what are some of the creative tensions that occur between the CTO and the CEO?
And we've concentrated specifically on trying to use user-centered design to focus on the particular business problems that our clients are experiencing. In the library world, I would imagine that means listening a lot to libraries and library consultants and talking to them about what they want to build, and then attempting to leverage open source technologies to build library solutions for them that solve their specific needs as opposed to custom building things from scratch.
And I think everything comes down to cost, value, and time. Cost and value are obvious, how much it's going to cost, what's the resource involved, and how much do people value this solution once you've delivered it. Time is the real challenge. In the world we're living, there's a particular company out there, beginning with G, just over there, that moves quite quickly. And other people move quite quickly as well. So if somebody comes to me and says, I've had this great idea, well, ideas are cheap, and I can deliver it in 3 years' time, what will have they done in 12 months' time?
That means that we do have to make changes to back-end systems that often are systems that have been in place for a long time. So some of the technology decisions we face there are when to continue on with similar sets of code, and when and how practically we can take advantage of new technologies to speed things up or to make sure that the system can be more readily expanded in the future. I wouldn't say that we have great arguments internally about that, but it is a constant reminder to all of us that we cannot make assumptions that the technologies that have served us in the past can inherently be expanded.
Unlike the rest of these guys, I'm not a CTO, I'm not a VP of anything. My business card says geek. So these guys ask for our companies to send people who actually do the technology day to day, and that's what I do. I sit and write code. So to answer the question, how does the technology and the business decisions balance? And really, if you're facing a decision where they have to balance, that really says that your technologists don't understand your business, or your business doesn't understand the technology. If there's a balance to be struck, it's really about, do you try to change the technology and the overall technology trends to match the business model that you've had for 30 years, or do you change your business model to work with the way the rest of the world is working?
I was wondering about what that means to us. We're a small company and we like to do what libraries like to see. And what we try to do is align, to speak in business terms, those library technology needs and directions with what the business directions are.
I think if anything I agree on this panel is that time is of the essence. Using the new technologies is extremely important. And I think we've all been spoiled looking at people like Yahoo and Google with the single, Barrett was saying, wanting to host more of our interfaces, that we're just jealous that they can make a change and the next time you log in you get that change. there's no distribution, there's no bundling, there's no backwards compatibility. They just can move the interface, their algorithms, all those things forward. And it's a real burden that the ILS vendors carry, the thousands of servers that are out there on different platforms, on different releases. But we can't let that stop us. So we will move some things into hosted areas as well. I think you'll see more of that.
Technology decision is a business decision. In the environment where we work, business decision is also a technology decision. So there's really, I don't think there's really a separation between the two, and I completely agree that if there is tension between CTO and CEO, you probably want to fire one of them.
How do we reconcile the problem of innovation and individuals doing all the innovation that they want, and what we heard today on the vendor panel, which was, this is already happening, we want it to happen. I think what this shows is that none of us can do this alone, that we need the partnership of the open source community, we need the partnership of our vendors and service providers, and we need all of the hard work from librarians and the folks who work in libraries that are out there doing all of this work. And the biggest thing that we have to do is just communicate it better.
For the key thing.